You're listening to the ReachCast show, your weekly stop for the latest and greatest in the PlanetSide 2 universe and its community.
What's up, everybody? It is January 27th, and you are listening to episode 70, the big 7-0 of the ReachCast show. Proud members of AGN and Podcast Networks. I'm your host, Torkz, a.k.a. Adam, whatever. With me tonight,
a.k.a. Adam,
is Noxx, as you've already heard. What's up, man?
How's it going, a.k.a. Adam?
I don't know, man. I don't even know what's real anymore. Deringer, we also have with us. What's up, man?
It's a.k.a. Deringer.
A.k.a. Deringer. So it's Mark, a.k.a. Deringer.
No, I just dropped the extra A. I'm just a.k.a. Deringer now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm Russian.
We have special guest Adam Clegg with us from SOE tonight. How you doing, sir?
Good. Hello. My name is R. Clegger, a.k.a. Adam.
A.k.a. Zeus of Design and Base Design. This week we are brought to you by all those who donated via PayPal and Amazon recently. Thank you. You are supporting basically Community Clash and our show, so thank you. We play with DPSO. They drop smoke. Play with some Outfit X. They don't drop smoke. What's in this week's show? We have Clegg. Talked to him. Talked about his special gifts. What's brought him to where he is in his life now, philosophy and otherwise. Patch update. We have a couple patch updates we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about resource revamps this week because we are going to get the man responsible for resource revamps, the Hades, the man behind like the power that is resource revamp. Well, Hades isn't necessarily evil. I think that's a bad spin from the Hercules movie. It's all right.
Hercules.
So we're going to talk to him hopefully in an upcoming week shortly. So we'll talk about all the resource revamp stuff then. Sorry for those of you that are disappointed about that. Other than that, we have a bunch of
say we were going to at some point.
Someone may have said that.
I said that I might, depending if we had time. So I don't want to, make people upset about that. So we have a whole bunch of community briefing and stuff as normal. Smed went on, did a Reddit AMA this week. A bunch of stuff that came out of that. So we'll check that out. With that being said, let's do that interrogation.
There. Listen, you're gonna tell us everything we want to know.
Okay. Now you are involved in the ReachCast interrogations.
So now that we waterboarded you,
wow,
and you're willing to tell us what's going on, so why don't you introduce yourself? I know that probably 99.9% of everybody knows who you are that's listening to this, but tell us about who Adam Clegg is, what you do at SOE, and what your special talents are. Can you flip upside down?
I'm just a gamer, dude. My name is Adam Clegg, or also known as R. Clegger. I work at SOE as a level designer for PlanetSide 2, and I've worn many hats on the PlanetSide 2 team, but it seems like my calling has been level design recently. And yeah, that's what I've been doing.
So you talk a lot about an F&O, all that stuff you've done in Amerish, and I saw you're preaching philosophy of what you need to do if you want to be a game designer, and so you're like the Socrates of game design. So
what is with you and the comparisons today?
I'm Zeus. I'm Socrates. I'll take it.
I thought it was great.
Can I just start by saying that this is my favorite PlanetSide 2 show to be on? All the PS2 shows.
How many PS2 shows are there?
Well, I mean, like interviews, or I've done a lot of things over the last 2 years. This one's definitely my favorite one.
Oh yeah, what's that?
I don't know. It's just chill. You guys all mesh well, and I feel like I'm hanging out with the boys.
Adam, just take the compliment and let's roll with it.
Dude,
this is the only one we're going to get all year.
So, do you have any? So last week we had a martial artist, we had a juggler, we had like a knife thrower. No, not a knife thrower. Break dancer. So what do you do? That's your special talent, Clegg.
Besides Hearthstone.
Oh man. I play a lot of Hearthstone. I'm really good at card games.
I noticed that.
I fancy myself good at classic arcade games.
Classic arcade. Okay, like what? Like
Elevator
anything,
action.
Like anything that you would find in the arcades
Like
pre 1999.
Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, like Sunset Riders, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Spider-Man. I basically
Cruising USA.
X-Men.
Cruising USA, Crazy Taxi, basically anything before 1999. Because that was when I like basically lived in an arcade. My mom couldn't afford a babysitter, and she's like, "Here's $5 quarters.
Yeah.
Go to the arcade.
Make it last.
Did you read Ready Player One?
No, what is
Oh
that?
my god, that would so fit with if you're a big arcade buff. It's like a book about. It's basically an arcade kid saves the world. Well, in essence, saves the world.
Is it on streaming somewhere?
I don't know.
Or Netflix or something like that?
Mark, do you know? No, it's a book.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's like it's.
So hold on, Adam. You just realized Clegg just says he doesn't read. So
wait a minute. You want me to read something?
That saves that. I mean, there's an audiobook if you want that. I guess that'll save it.
I guess I could do that.
I could do that maybe.
No, but other than that, I fancy myself that I fancy that I have good taste in music for the electronic music.
Oh, that's right. You're a big electronic music fan.
Big electronic music fan. I like to listen to a lot of underground stuff, up and coming stuff, as well as like the big mainstream stuff. But I pretty much like every electronic music genre. Probably comes from playing video games my whole life and listening to a lot of it sounds like old school 90s video game music. So,
who's your favorite electronic music artist?
Britney Spears.
Ooh, Britney Spears remix by Pitbull featuring Nicki Minaj.
I think
My favorite my favorite electronic music artist overall would probably have to be Tiesto, just because I've been listening to him for so long.
Classic.
Oh, that's a good choice.
But my newest favorite has been BT.
Oh.
If anyone hasn't listened to BT's new album, A Song Across Wires, you should check it out, because that is like old school trance with a little bit of dubstep it's just amazing. It's
You know
really
what
good.
I've been stuck on lately is Hall Ballman and Trent Muller.
Oh,
Heard of them?
yes.
I love them both. Oh, they're so good.
This is where the two music.
You see how his sultry voice comes out when he talks about like the.
Yeah, he likes them a little bit too much.
Yeah, he's like, oh, they're so good, they're so good.
This is a music battle right now,
I'm not battling
where they
them.
throw out the most random people you've never heard of, saying,
I'm not.
"Do you know about them?"
Listen, I'm not. It's not like that. I've been listening to them the last week exclusively.
I'm so hipster. I was there way before you were.
So,
not
I like,
that sort of thing. I hate you guys.
are you
I like
all
all the
happy?
new,
Are you all happy that Daft Punk won a Grammy last
I
night?
was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say I like all the new kids coming out that are like, yeah, this new Daft Punk, man, they're really good. They did that one remix of that Kanye West song. Harder, better,
Kanye West
faster, stronger.
Oh God.
Yeah,
That's horrible. All right. On that note, let's go to patch updates.
it's a good segment.
I'm going to get these mosquitoes in the air and rain down some hellfires on those foods. Oh no! What the f***? I should have listened to the ReachCast patch notes.
So I've got this whole damn thing, huh? Jeez.
You got. We'll comment on it.
I
Just
have
go.
a little one.
Just knock. Yeah, you do. Just knock it out.
Wow.
You
So-
started.
I think we just lost Tom. It's gonna be one of those kind of shows.
Calm myself down.
I love how much you guys all hate each other. That when you make fun of each other, you laugh at each other that much harder.
It is.
That's what's happening
It's
here.
pretty bad. You should see us in person. It's like sack taps constantly, except for.
Oh,
now.
I
It's
was
like verbal sack
there.
taps.
I was there at SW Live, especially around drinks. It was amazing.
You were at our table for a while, do a whole bunch of events. You were out
Yeah.
drinking with us afterwards. Yeah, we know.
No, you're a dummy. No, you're a dummy.
So let's roll on through the patches. January 23rd, we had a patch. First off, they are aware of members not getting the appropriate amount of bonus certs. They're working on resolving that issue. I'm glad that they put this in the patch notes, because I've been logging in every day and saying, why am I only getting 12 certs? So I'm glad it's not just me.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a mix-up. I asked Higby about this on Twitter.
And he
I didn't get a
ignored you.
response.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get a response.
It's Deringer to complain about his free certs for his free membership.
So I got 12 certs on like 3 guys, and the other 2 I got 48. So I was kind of confused as like what was going on. And I asked him, I knew there was a bug, and he said that they're going to, I guess, recoup everybody.
That's what it sounds like. They'll be performing one single grant once they resolve the problem. So yeah, like I said, on my main character, I'm just getting 12 every time I log in, no matter how many days it's been. So
yeah.
Oh, we all know what happened the last time we granted everyone free certs.
I didn't get any.
What do you mean I got 12K certs? This is bullshit. I should have got 0.
You want to know something interesting? That's like the most pissed off I've ever seen Higby at work.
I can see why.
Over people being mad about that they didn't get enough?
No, the fact that we granted so much to so many people. Like, it was a bad day. That was definitely not a fun day.
Tom still hasn't spent all his certs.
I remember Tom saying, like, I can't remember, he got on, he said something like, I got 20K certs, I don't know what I'm going to do with all this. He's just sitting there, like, waiting for it. I'm like, I don't know, spend them somewhere. Yeah, that was a good discussion. Did we lose you, Tom? You there?
He's gone. He's laughing too hard. Right. He's got to go. He said he needed to calm down. He's probably going to make a cup of tea or something.
Yeah. All right.
Next. So rolling on through, for the performance, they addressed an issue with particle effects that caused performance decreases. Next up with the amp stations, Zurvan was fully updated to be a Freyr-style amp station, and there was much rejoicing. And Dahaka is now a hybrid with elements from both Freyr and the stock amp station. Were you instrumental on this change, Mr. Clegg?
No, this was all Xander and our lead designer, Corey, our lead level designer. They took the reins on the new amp station. How it worked in the beginning, so you guys kind of figure out the way we got tasked out, is I got the biolab. Lenny, Brian Bosch, who unfortunately got laid off recently, which was sad, had the tech plant, and Corey, our lead level designer, had the amp station. So I still technically have the biolab, and so since Corey had the amp station, he had too much work to do as a lead level designer. He gave it to Xander, and Xander and him have been working together with our lead designer, Luke, and they have been working on a new amp station. So I've been in the loop, but I haven't been like hands-on with it, because I can't be involved in that and also make new bases at the same time. There's just not enough hours in the day. But I like the direction it's going. I think
you're not the only one.
I think it's 100 times better than the old amp station with all of its awkward angles and bad spawn room placement and
do it to the tech plant next.
Yeah, we're gonna do
tech plant. Lives.
We'll probably.
I was muted and then my mic came unplugged. I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez. We'll probably do tech plant and then biolab after that. I have no idea what we're going to do with the biolab. It's going to need some major art.
That's what I was wondering. You guys have tried like a couple small iteration changes to the biolab. What do you think about that? Like,
I think the iteration changes that we've made have helped a lot, but nothing helped. The problem with the biolab, the number one problem is it has too many people inside of it. And when it has too many people, it really starts to break down. And I'm sure you've been in a perfect biolab fight where there's just maybe like 100 people, 150 people max, and everything's kind of flowing and moving, and you're never camped in a teleporter room, and you're always running from point to point or satellite to jump pad, and it's really fun. But once it starts getting above that 150 mark, it's just way too many people, and the lab really breaks down after that. So.
You mean it breaks down because of
how dense it is.
Oh, okay.
I have a question. Okay. How far back does your guys' data of like these populations go? When you look at how far do you store? Do you know what I'm saying?
Pretty far back. I would say we have at least 8 months of data.
How long ago did you guys fix the crown? Because I was going to say that's why the biolabs are full. The crown's gone.
Yeah. No, it's the biolabs are full
people gotta go
because
somewhere.
people like getting certs in the biolabs.
It's a good farm.
Certs,
Exactly.
yeah.
That they lead, the crown gets fixed, and everyone goes somewhere else to farm.
I mean, it's a good farm, yeah, but
It's it gets choke pointed at the pads, and then the teleport rooms get locked down, and that's its major flaws. So
You say flaws. That's some of my most fond memories in the biolab. I love assaulting at the pad, even though there's a huge choke and. Same
no,
thing
I love.
to
I
the
think
rooms.
the pads. I think the pads work well. I just don't really like how the rooms function. In a perfect world, I would like the defenders to be able to retake the room and then push out to the satellite, rather than having to actually go to the satellite to retake the room. But I want them to be able to take the room from the lab and then use the room to push out to the satellite. But there just haven't been any intuitive ways of doing that without code support or new art or things like that.
that is uncalled for.
I think my biggest complaint with the biolabs right now is that when there's no one defending, that you can just roll through, bust the generator, take down the what the hell's the thing in the middle? Oh my god, SCU, and then you own it, and it can be done in 3 minutes. I think that's my biggest complaint right now.
Well,
Yeah, that's pretty fast. I think that's there because when it is crazy packed, it's a way to actually take it if you're able to break the defenses.
Well, that's all we do with DPSO now is we just hit the teleporter and then max crash the generator, take down the generator, wait for a minute for the SCU to unlock, hit the SCU, and then just clear out the defenders and it's done.
So, Clegg, as far as spreading out maybe the objectives for a biolab a little bit, do you think that's a possibility? And because of the timer and the constraints around that, and the how compact the area is as far as numbers you were talking about, do you think you're talking about kind of using the satellites as kind of like a part of the main base fight, but do you feel like spreading out the objectives maybe outside the base?
Yeah, they're the biggest problem is performance, number one. So we can't bring the satellites in too close without having it be a lag fest.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we need to do is gut the inside of the lab completely, where all of the underbelly stuff is, and make it so players that are assaulting the lab can go in from the bottom of the lab through it to the top, and then kind of build more in the dome rather than just having it be one level.
What about how the lattice has basically made it so attackers can only come from one side?
I totally agree with you. That's a huge thing. When they put lattice in, they essentially neutered the biolabs because the biolabs excelled by being able to take all 3 satellites and attacking from all directions. Now that you can only attack from one side, maybe 2 if you're really lucky, if you do the lattice all the way around, you can take a biolab with a bunch of people there, but the way the lattice kind of killed it right now, it's really hard to take a lab unless there's nobody there. So
you're thinking maybe like a stair system maybe coming up to the main floor, or a layered system that you would battle on inside.
Yeah, sort of like a system like that. Still have the air pads, but have the main entrance be through the bottom rather than teleporting in.
Okay.
But that's just one part of the solution. Like Tom said, the lattice is another big problem.
Yeah, I don't envy you guys because no matter what you change, you get bitched at by some part of the player base.
Except the amp station changes because everybody loves those.
Tough.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Well, even that I've heard people bitch about. Like between Dahaka and Freyr, they're like, "Well, this is bullshit because this is this and this and this and this." You know, it's like
there are people that listen to it. I think Louis is one of them that hated it.
No, I don't think he hated. Well,
someone in chat didn't like Freyr.
I think that when there's a overwhelmingly positive change in PlanetSide 2, the people that don't like it the most are the ones that used it to farm really easily or like cheesed inside of a spawn room.
Mm-hmm.
And can't.
Yeah, like we have a lot of players that they don't leave spawn rooms. They go from spawn room to spawn room, and when their spawn room's about to go, they redeploy. They find another spawn room, and then their KD is like 70-1. Because they never. Yeah, no, that's all they do.
Stop giving away my secrets.
I'm not even joking.
Stop giving away my secrets.
That's
my KD's higher than yours. I don't know what you're talking about, Mark, and I don't do that.
They're like
Get out of
duck
here.
hunt players, professional duck hunt players.
Professional duck hunt. That's basically what I mean. That's how they play the game, and that's fun for them. So
Louis says no. By the way, you go to hell, Tom.
Okay, well, it was
Okay.
someone. I don't remember who.
But
Don't put it on him.
Arctorn in the chat does bring up a good point. A bottom entrance at a biolab would make it a lot more intuitive for a brand new player, because a lot of new players, when they look at it, they're like, "How the hell do I get in there?"
I was one of them. I ran all around the bottom of that thing, going, "How the do I get up there?"
Don't worry, Arcton. We'll get into that argument here shortly about new player experience versus.
Yeah, we
yeah,
will.
no, that's another big thing.
All right, so let's move on further. I know we've kind of traveled way off target, but
My God, yes, we have. I told you an hour and 15 minutes. It's gonna be like 2 hours.
next up, balance changes done to Hornet missiles and the Coyote missiles. There were a lot of complaints about both of them, so there were some good changes. Some increase in their direct hit damage on the Hornet missiles was one of the biggest things that people were looking for, and also the RPM and the acceleration of the Coyote missiles were changed. Again, things that people were asking for, and I know those got changed based on player feedback and metrics that you guys were looking at. So kudos on that. Next up, bug fixes. The ground air lock-on message should no longer look like a key prompt, and it really did. Collision issues were fixed on Esamir, and you shouldn't get stuck under stairs at Scarred Mesa, which actually happened to me. That's why I mention it. And also other various minor collision and geometry issues in the game. More than anything, this was sounds like let's fix some issues that came up with the most recent patch and get everything up and running. So that was it for the first half of January 23rd. Tom, second half?
Well, hold on 1 second. I want to make this as a very pivotal point, which some of the change was because of player feedback, from what my understanding is, and a feel, not based on stat sheets like everybody bitches about. This is partially because of player feel, and there's a lot of times that feedback is being asked for. How do they feel now? And some of the more dominant ESF players were giving feedback on how it feels, and that tweaked the change. So that the whole bitching about everything is based on stat sheets was listened to and changed. So I want to make that point, because there's a lot of people that are pissed about that. We're pissed about that.
Yeah, now that we're updating every week now, you're gonna see a lot more changes more frequently. A lot more balance changes, a lot more hot fixes. Just, the OMFG patch really screwed us over in a way of content making, even though it was a must fix issue. Now that everybody's experienced the better frames, they get why we had to do it. But I mean, we're going to get back into the groove now of regular updates, and you guys are going to see lots of new things coming in all the time. So it's really good for the players.
I was playing this last week. There was 3 people that told me, "Oh, I just came back to this game. This game's amazing. I can actually play now." And that was just out of the outfit I play with. And it's only a handful of people. It's a small group.
Yep,
So,
there was a lot of people that couldn't play our game.
and it was necessary, granted, but yeah, I know a lot of people were pissed about content not being released.
Well,
at the time.
naturally, I would be pissed too. I told people that I would be pissed also. Like if I paid, for a 6-month subscription, and then all of a sudden I'm not getting content for 5 months or 4 months or whatever it was, that'd make me mad as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't blame them.
It kind of falls in line with the argument that Deringer and I are about to get into with new player content versus established player content. But we'll get to that. So, Tom, you're next.
Yeah. This is my little one. Hotfix on January 23rd. Fixed some placeholder world objects on Amerish. Fixed for Liberator composite armor not attaching correctly, and addressed client crash. Or a client crash. That's it.
You've been hitting those white Russians tonight, haven't you?
I had some scotch.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I didn't know it was this kind of a podcast.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's become that.
All right. Community briefing.
Attention, soldiers! Get your butts in here for this week's community briefing.
Alrighty. So, F&O this week. Maggie had Xander on. So Xander Klaus is one of the main level designers. What is he in your team, Clegg? What is he? Is he like a supervisor, or is he just another?
He's the same level as me.
Okay, so he's another level designer. He talked about the amp station redesigns, and they had a panel that revolved around the amp station redesigns, good and bad, and the panel kind of bounce things back and forth between Xander and themselves. It was good discussion. There was some discussions about placement of Sundays and why certain things were incorrect about it and some things were better, etc. But it was a good discussion. So that was the first hour and 10 minutes, I want to say. And then the next 3 hours were Clegg here talking about Amerish redesign and philosophies, basically like breaking up the Socrates and like why you should continue to learn and like why life is great and a lot of great things. But
now I heard you watched all 3 hours of that, Adam, right?
Twice.
I did not.
Yeah, you might need to say Torkz because there's two Adams here.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
That's a great point. Yeah. So Clegg is. Yeah.
I figured it was assumed when I said Adam watched since Clegg was on it.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to go on there. Here's the whole shindig. So I went on to a prior FNO and started the base. I had nothing. I had basically started from scratch, and that lasted for like 3 hours too. And then I was like, well, I went to go work on the base again later that week, or maybe it was next week. And I was like, well, people probably want to see me work in progress too, so I might as well stream that. And so then on my own channel, I streamed for 8 hours of me building the rest of it. Progress. Yeah. There's a VOD on my channel if you really want to watch it.
With good feedback too. People loved it.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. And then on this FNO, I was supposed to just go on there for an hour and say, hey guys, look at the progress I've made since the last FNO. This looks cool, right? And that was basically supposed to be it. But then I ended up building and talking about level design, and then pretty soon it was just questions about anything and about design in general, and it was fun answering all of those questions and building that. So
yeah, it was kind of cool listening. So Maggie was fielding questions back and forth from you, and you were kind of explaining philosophies of life and how you design bases around that. And it was actually, honestly, I'll say I listened to about 45 minutes of it, or I watched 45 minutes of it, and it was cool watching you. I watched the part where you were placing crystals and showing the kind of the cave up to, what's the name of that base? It's right outside the warp gate for NC, or well, it's NC currently, but the top right warp gate. You're showing that, and you're showing the ascent, the new ascent on Amerish. And that thing looks amazing. Like the caves behind it and the little, I don't know what you call them, like, as you're coming up the passes, you have those little, like,
the stalactites and the stalagmites?
Well, like the gateway. No, it's like...
Oh, the like the mining shaft entrances?
Yeah, it's like the mining shaft entrances, and you have like the building that makes a gateway around the entrance to the ascent, and how that's like a good jump off point from the attack for the attackers. And it was just, the whole design is amazing. Just how it's going to work.
Basically, how it's supposed to work now is if you're an aircraft, there's no way you're going to fly over the middle of the map anymore, because the ascent and the 3 bases around the ascent are very anti-air heavy. So it's supposed to be a ground vehicle troop assault from whichever base you have linked to the ascent, because the ascent now has 4 links to it, or 3 links, 1 to each of the 3 bases around it. So in theory, every empire should have a foothold in the center of the base to be able to fight to the ascent. So we essentially made TI alloys to the crown 3 times, but with better cover and better Sunday spots, and it should be epic. Like, it should be.
Say the ascent is crown 2.0.
Yeah, but this is like to the next level. So it should be a really cool fight. Like, you should, if you want to stay in the center of the map all day, you probably could, while everything else is happening all around you at the rest of the maps.
Oh man, where should I talk about Amerish now?
Yeah, let's do it, dude. You said you flew around and checked it all out, so talk to them about it.
God, I flew around it, and it was like, I started on the outside, and then I just spiraled inward. And every base, I was just like, oh, this is so sweet. This is sweet. This is sweet. And it was like I climaxed at the ascent.
Oh, man.
It was just unreal.
My God, I didn't expect that.
You should live stream this, man. You'd probably get a lot of followers.
No.
He doesn't have enough cleavage.
It's phenomenal. I just kept flying around there. I was mesmerized by how good it was. I was like, I declare a no complaint zone.
Well, I hope it gets rid of Indar side.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's so
no joke.
good.
It is really good. I did the same thing. I told Tom to get on there and fly around and make sure you look at every single damn little base because they're all unique. They're all different. They all have some special feature to them.
I was like,
They're
oh,
amazing.
Ewok Village. Oh,
Yeah,
what's this Moss Basin or whatever? Moss Canyon.
Ravine. Yeah, I did
Then
that.
some other
What
good
about
ones.
the giant square building that's the big pit in the middle with the one entrance out of it? Do tanks spawn in there?
Yeah, that's where tanks roll out and they go down this big hallway thing.
Yeah, I was
So
looking
it's-
for a high wall for a graphic I'm working on, so I was down there taking pictures. And
Oh, High Road Station. It was like the bases just kept getting cooler and cooler, and then I got to the ascent and I was just like, oh.
That sound effect is amazing, to be honest.
Yeah,
Too
so
much.
we added an extra base near the ascent. That's the centipede one that you were calling.
yeah, the centipede.
Yeah, so that's the third base around the ascent. So now every Empire should theoretically get a foothold. I know Xander did the pit one. He worked a long time on that.
There's two pits. Which pit?
Malorn worked really hard on the ascent with one of our environment artists who is really good at making things look pretty, as you can tell by the caves.
Oh yeah, there's flora all over the place.
Yeah. There's two pit ones. I'm talking about the main pit one with the 3 big warehouse buildings around it. I don't remember the name because I didn't work on it. The one that I did was the one that goes like 3 stories down. There's like the top layer that has a tree on top, and then it goes like 3 stories below that. It's underground.
Oh, I think yeah, I saw that one. The one I was thinking of was, I put it somewhere here. Is Scarfield Reliquary? The capture point is like 3,000 meters up in the air. Just thought
What?
I would help you out,
What?
point that out.
Isn't it only like 1,000 meters in the
Well, I
entire
was
map?
looking
Like,
for I was looking for A, and I'm spinning around. I'm like, it's got to be somewhere here. And then I looked straight up because it kept being at the top of my screen when I'm flying around. And I looked straight up, and there's A, 3,096 meters up in the air.
Is that even possible in this game?
You have to jump out of a galaxy and a light assault onto the top of the capture point.
That's the only way.
It's the only way.
It's like a little. It's like what's the Star Wars base? Cloud
City.
Cloud City.
Cloud City. It's like that. It's like that spire at the bottom of Cloud City, except reversed. And it's like the only way you can get to it is you have to jump on this little like.
Was
2 foot by
Lando
2 foot
Calrissian up there, Tom?
Yeah, he's got a Millennium Falcon flying around killing people.
Dude, I wish we could create a fog layer and create Cloud City.
Oh,
and
that would be
the only way you can get
Oh
up
my
there is you have to
gosh.
fly up there.
That'd be amazing.
Galaxy drops on Cloud City. Nice.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Do you know how many people would miss it?
All right, let's go to the AMA with John, with Smed.
Yeah, he did it over the weekend. He did an AMA. A lot of it was related to EverQuest Next, but there were a number of questions from PlanetSide players and a lot of our listeners too. I recognized a bunch of the names. So I just pulled out a few that were some of the top ones that he gave answers to. So first off, people want to know what ETA on PlanetSide 2 for PlayStation 4, and he said first half of the year is what they're shooting for. It is taking some time to do it right, but it's coming along great. Somebody else asked if they had any idea how long PlanetSide 2 will be supported by SOE. And Smedley said that he hopes 20 years of support
Wow.
for PlanetSide 2.
That's wow.
They're consolidating their franchises so they can support titles. We want to be there for the long haul, and that's why we did this. And
My God, I'll be 48 years old
now
when I start supporting this.
this,
I'll be 50.
You did hear what I said. They're consolidating franchises. That means he did announce that they're closing some franchises, and one of the most popular ones for the ReachCast listeners is Free Realms.
No!
So this is
Dude,
They are
This
shutting
sounds-
Free Realms down, so we're going to take a moment of silence in honor of Free Realms
Before
right
we
now
do
on the
that,
show.
what were you gonna
All
say,
right.
Clegg? Before we do that?
I was going to say, before we do this, Free Realms was my first game as a dev.
Mm.
So,
Oh, was it?
Oh, we definitely
Yeah.
need a moment of silence.
So
then.
let's have a quick moment of silence for Free Realms.
Okay. Okay. Good enough.
that was good.
All right. We're
And then
gonna
another-
play.
we got to honor
Another
it, you know.
game. Another game was Vanguard Saga of Heroes.
There's a
which
lot
was-
of anger over that.
which was the first game I ever worked on as a little 22-year-old Adam in the game industry. It was my first job. I was QA tester on Vanguard. So if it wasn't for Vanguard, I would not be where I am today. So both of the games got shut down. Vanguard and Free Roams. The only thing I have left is PlanetSide 2.
At least you have one of the new flagship games.
Yeah.
For the moment.
That's going to be supported for 20 years, hopefully.
20 years.
If you guys want to read some angry people, go on the forums of Free Roams and Vanguard.
Oh man,
Yeah,
we saw
Vanguard is just hate.
We saw some of that. People are pissed.
Free Realms, it's mostly little girls crying.
Well, you think they're little girls, but
True.
It's like, never mind. That's probably not appropriate. All right,
So next up, someone asked, for PlanetSide 2, players due to bring us helmets, camo patterns, how hard will it be to allow players access to mapping and base building tools? And Smed replied that they're working on allowing all kinds of new things to be submitted by players. Ultimately, he wants vehicles, weapons, and literally everything in Player Studio.
I don't want people designing vehicles.
This is us putting Clegg out of a job.
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah. I have no interest in watching somebody design a vehicle. That is that's the worst idea I can think of.
I have no interest in paying for a vehicle.
Yeah.
What if it's super rad? What if it's T-Ray's car?
Like, I don't mind like vehicle like additions, like whatever you want to call it, like a big bumper in the front or like some bling or something. I don't give a shit. But not like vehicles themselves. That's just asking for a nightmare. No.
Yeah,
It's gonna have to suck, or you have pay to win people.
What was that, Clegg?
I really don't want people building bases either. To be honest,
I don't blame you.
Because there's a lot of players that don't realize the restrictions that we go through to build a base. You know, it's not like we get free reign to build whatever we want, and there's a quality bar that has to be met, and there's an art style that has to be met. And if you let players build bases, they're just going to build stuff that looks like crap, that just is completely functional, 100% functional, nothing aesthetically pleasing about it. And
or to look like a COD
like Minecraft. This whole thing would look like Minecraft.
It's just people will be like, I've always wanted 3 towers stacked on top of each other, and like you can't just do that. You can't just make 3 towers stacked on top of each other.
Cloud City.
Like the game just won't even be. It'll just be like a mod. The game will just look like a mod. It won't even look like a game anymore. And I think a lot of players take art style for granted, and they play through this world and they don't realize that the world actually looks that way because people made it look that way. And once you start just letting players put anything they want in the game, then that art style goes away, and you really fast it shows up that you're just playing this mod instead of an actual video game.
You know what? I totally agree. I feel so immersed, and especially when I see those Higby or T-Ray faces on my vehicles, I feel super immersed. Like, this is really the future. I could see these people with fedoras. It's like
that's the beginning of the end right there.
Yeah.
As soon as those decals came up. No, but I mean, like, you know, people. I'm sure people could make some amazing bases out there, but the general population of people just making whatever they wanted, a lot of stuff would not get submitted. I mean, it would not get accepted. It would get submitted because they could submit it, but you know.
So speaking of the decals, there's a rumor floating around on the internet right now that, Clegg, if you were to zoom all the way out on Amerish, it's actually a picture of your face. Is this true?
That would be amazing. That would be an amazing coincidence and maybe a sign of the heavens.
You see the ascent's kind of like his nose, and you see his beard. It's like the centipede base underneath.
That would be the greatest troll I could have ever pull off.
Amazing.
It's too bad that's not true.
If only I could see
maybe.
Clegg. I want to see Clegg on my vehicles. Can I see Clegg on my Galaxy?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
I want to see Clegg on my Galaxy.
Next up, somebody asked about implants, and they specifically mentioned that people on Reddit are kind of blowing up about implants, saying that they're terrible. And they wanted to know, will implants make PlanetSide completely pay to win by allowing implants to actually make a player immune to certain effects and attacks? And Smedley replied that they hated our first implant plan. We killed it and have a new one that players should really like. In case this hasn't been said enough, we absolutely listen to our players. This isn't lip service. This is, we're willing to eat a giant shit sandwich and be wrong kind of listening. I really liked his reply.
Jesus Christ. It's a very scripted way of saying it.
Smedley has sworn more than I have this episode.
Yeah, I feel bad because I'm actually beating you out for an episode. This is a rare occasion.
I'm trying to control myself.
This is White Russians. They make you docile. Yeah.
Next up, somebody asked how Player Studio was progressing outside of U.S., and I know we have a lot of outside U.S. listeners, and he said that we're almost done with figuring out the process. Now we need to implement. Rough guess, April in Canada and the UK, May in France and Germany, rest of the world still a work in progress. So never fear, everybody who wants to do Player Studio outside the U.S. It sounds like it's coming along nicely. And the final question, someone asked and said, I have the loyal soldier or whatever subscription to PlanetSide 2 right now, which is $9.99 a month every 3 months. Will there be any change to this via the new all-access program, such as going back up to $15 a month? Smedley's response, we are grandfathering older plans in, which I thought was very good news for all the people who have that great
But now
promotion.
if you cancel, you're going to be not able to get it.
Yeah.
Well, but you're going to have subs to every game they have underneath their umbrella. That's I mean, that's what kind of what blew my mind is that I feel like I'm hoping this is enticing more people to pull a sub. Like, that's the only thing I'm really hoping that they do, because it seems like maybe they're losing money at least initially. I don't know.
Well,
So
it
the
won't
important
cost
thing
you
there is-
$9.99, Mark. You're getting
Yeah.
it for free.
Well, we don't know if I'm going to be.
I
There's
love
no
how we
guarantee.
keep jamming Mark in the ribs like every time. Like, it's just,
Let's be
Only
honest.
$9.99. Like,
Let's all be honest here. It's probably 50-50 that I'm back in community council this year.
I mean, I didn't sign you in to probably make it again. I mean, it's a voting system. It's a
I'm
black
sure
ball.
we're out. I'm sure we're out. We suck. Me specifically. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you're right.
There was a lot more to the AMA. Like I said, a lot of it was regarding EverQuest Next. So if any of our listeners are interested in EverQuest Next, go ahead and read that AMA. The only thing he did not reveal was basically the launch date for Landmark. He said he had to keep that close to his vest.
Well, he said that he promised the PR people as the one thing he would not
Yes,
reveal.
that he wouldn't repeat that.
That's just dev speak for they don't know what the launch date is.
Aaron says, I can't
The
say.
real
therefore I
truth
don't know."
comes out
He
here.
can't,
on ReachCast.
he can't say something he doesn't know.
Have
Yeah.
you been playing it, Clegg?
Internally, yes, I've
Yeah.
been playing Landmark.
figured.
We've only,
Oh.
but
Fantastic.
that's only because we're letting the players play it on Friday at the office. We have that big community thing
Yeah, I saw the
on
big
Friday.
they're putting out for that. Yeah,
So they were like, "Oh crap, we're gonna let a bunch of people play this game. Let's let people play internally to see what it's like." So then we like basically stress tested it, and they found a bunch of issues, and then we stress tested it again, and then they fixed them all. So I don't know. Fridays, it's a madhouse right now. Like if you go to the SOE office right now, it looks like the circus is coming in town. There's like this massive tarp in the parking lot, and we're expecting like 1,000 people to show up. It's going to be madness, but it's all because they want to play EQNext Landmark.
that bad, huh?
They want to play it. Yep.
Man. All right. Well, Smeds confirms that double and triple station cache aren't done. That is going to happen in the future. That was literally about as much as that description happened as a tweet, so that it's not done. So I guess we expect it at some point in the future.
Did you almost orgasm over that too, Tom?
No, I didn't climax.
Family
Because it sounds like
show.
something.
Awesome,
it sounds like
though.
something you would.
Oh, it's pretty sweet.
Got close.
He's
It was-
flying over Amerish, and that tweet comes across. It's all
Now,
over.
yeah, if that were the case, I might not be here right now. I'd still be
So-
recuperating.
You know what's more bizarre than people asking me PlanetSide 2 stuff that like I obviously wouldn't talk about? People asking me about EverQuest Next stuff that I obviously don't know anything about. Like I get questions about EverQuest Next. I'm like, I'm on PlanetSide, man. I don't even know what they're doing up there at all.
Is this when you go out to like the bar?
No, just on Twitter.
Oh,
Random questions. It's really funny.
That
You
game's
know-
going to be big, I have a feeling. There's a lot of people that are looking. 2,007 people walk up to me in the office that knew that I did a show that somewhat touched SOE. Like, how's EQ Next coming? I have no effing clue, dude. I don't even look at that.
You should have said it's coming along great.
People at work. Am I working at
Dude,
SOE?
yes, they
now?
were. Like people were asking about this. Like, how's Landmark going? I'm like, how the f- am I supposed to know? Like,
I think Landmark has potential to be really big.
yeah, I mean, no joke. It seems like there's a lot of interest in it, no doubt.
If it's like Minecraft but awesomer.
Yeah, it's like Minecraft, but MMO, and you get to get your own plot of land. Like, think of like Land Rush back in the day when you found a new country.
Are you allowed to say how big the plot of land is?
I have no idea, actually, to be honest.
Come on, we're supposed to be asking you EverQuest Next questions.
You've been playing.
Hamma just tweeted me, "Hey man, do you know the EQ Next release date?"
All right.
No, but let's get back on topic.
That's fine. Let's go to the PTS stuff, Tom.
Yeah, there is a PTS patch with good stuff, apparently.
You sound drunk as shit.
I checked out that good stuff. Hey, do I really? I only had like one
You
shot.
sound you're slurring.
I am not slurring.
You're slurring.
Get the...
He's not. You're not slurring. Don't listen to him.
All right. Amerish, the
Cut
following bases are now ready for testing. Hidden Ridge Mining, sweet. Soltech Charging Station, probably sweet. I don't remember the name of that one with the visual. Deserted Mine Shaft, Araxcom Network Hub,
Sweet.
Amerish ARX Reserve, Cobalt Communications, and Toramar Storage Yard. Did I pronounce-
Wait. What are you reading, Tom? When was this posted?
I don't know.
January 24th. 3 days ago.
These are the patch notes. That
Well,
Patch notes from 3 days ago on the
Well,
PTS.
considering I just finished Soltech's charging station at work today, I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you guys that that's probably not going to be ready to test this next week.
That's
Tell me
how,
what's update on the fly when you put it up.
Hidden Ridge Mining and Soltech. Hidden Ridge Mining and Soltech are both the ones that I did, and I literally finished the tweaks to Soltech today.
Well,
so
you
you're
better
probably-
Go talk to SOE Luke.
Yeah, SOE Luke posted this on the 24th. Last
That's-
Friday he posted this.
Well, I'll talk to him tomorrow.
Breaking news. Patch notes are wrong.
Hidden Ridge and Soltech, those are mine. So if you have feedback on those, send them to me. Tweet me.
Sounds good, man. All I've seen so far from the Amber stuff, it's amazing. I'm with Tom on that. That I'm not going to take it to that degree.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No, you're fine, man. I was just saying that all the stuff I've seen from anybody else and myself, that all the stuff on Amerish with the inclusion of Lattice, even with the inclusion of Lattice and everything else, it looks amazing. Like just the whole kind of does them. I can't
just
wait
wanted to
to
go
see
live.
awesome.
I needed to go live.
But remember how amazing we thought it looked before when it first came out and no one played on it? Because
What are you trying to get at here?
because of Indar. But anyways,
It's better than Indar.
I think it does look amazing, and I'm not playing anywhere else. And if my outfit's not playing there, I'm gonna drop squad and walk over there because it looks pretty sweet.
Literally walk.
I told T-Ray I would complain about something.
Amerish is definitely going to have a pretty long honeymoon period. Like every new continent always has its honeymoon period. Like even Esamir had this like 2 weeks of everybody, oh my god, this is the best continent I've ever seen, and then the critics start to come out. But I have a feeling,
walls.
yeah, but I have a feeling Amerish will have a much longer period of oh my god, this is really cool.
I hope so.
So how much do we have to pay for Indar to be shut down? Like they shut down the continent for like a month.
So I asked that. I'm not even joking. I asked how it works, and how it works is the tutorial sends new people out into instant action, and instant action always takes them to Indar because that's where everyone's at. So technically, if Amerish comes out and everyone's on Amerish, all the new players will instant action to Amerish, and as long as people log out in Amerish and they stay on Amerish, then Amerish should be the new Indar. So it's up to you guys, really. It's not up to us.
Oh, man,
I've said
I
that
don't
for
know.
many moons, and
That you know what
everyone
scares me
keeps
about that is
playing
that
on Indar.
what scares me about that is people don't know how to get off Amerish. Then that's what makes me think like new players get on. They're like, I don't know how to get the hell off this continent. I'm just gonna stay here.
I agree. I bet you there's people that play our game that have played our game for 40 hours. They don't even know that we have two more continents.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm wondering is. Well, we'll get. Should we do it now, Mark? Or you? We'll wait. We'll get that right before the calls.
Save it.
I don't know. I blame people, they complain, oh, we're nothing but Indar. Well, go somewhere else.
You got plenty of other
Fight
continents.
against you.
My outfit does not play on Indar.
Yeah, I'm switching to Vanu and joining DPSO.
I was enjoying so much slaughtering your outfit this week, by the way.
I never saw you.
I know.
That's why I don't believe you.
Because he's a ghost.
You'd have been dead if you would have seen me.
Whatever. No, the bane of my existence is freaking recursion. They're freaking everywhere all at once. And they're always smashing my face in no matter where I am.
They're really good, man.
They are. They're
they got some
really good.
Players. They got some
I'm not
great players.
Dude, I'm not even joking. When Recursion wants to recruit, I probably shouldn't say this, but oh well. When Recursion wants to recruit somebody new to their outfit, they literally ask us, is this person hacking? Because their stats are really good.
That's awesome.
And then when it's finally cleared, because they want to keep their image up, they don't want hackers on their outfit. And so when like one of us will finally respond to them and we'll go, no, dude, that guy's just really good. Then they'll go and try to recruit that guy.
That's awesome.
That's hilarious.
So if you get killed by Recursion, you're getting killed by like one of the better players in the game. And they're like recruiting people from cross server. They're basically trying to create the best team out there. So
Yeah, it's funny because
those guys are cool. I play with them a lot.
Well, I feel that I give as much as I get, but it seems like they're always the people that we're butting our heads up against. Every time we're kind of dug in and stuck somewhere and can't finish off a point, it's always Recursion that's pushing us out.
What do you
I feel
do
the
to
same way for
Devil
Future
Dogs?
Crew. Future Crew is the same way for me. They're always killing me, and I'm like, God damn it, Future Crew.
Mm-hmm. They're always the thing about future crews. They're predictable though. It's always a defense. They'll never go to an attack. You'll never see future crew on an attack. It's
Well,
always
they love the defense.
they only will go on to defense of a base, and they'll wait till the last 45 seconds, and you can expect to see future crew like immediately. That's like it's predictable time and time and time again. Like you'll wait and see them, and then they'll come in, and you'll see one of them will die.
They're like Batman. They come in and save the day.
Tom, the chat room says you need to log out of League of Legends.
Yeah, I did actually.
They're hearing your friend invites or something.
Yeah, my friend invited me to a game. I dropped it.
Oh, I've been playing Hearthstone this whole time. Should I stop? Just kidding.
No, it's just my ex.
It depends. What's your arena rating? Are you 7-0 right now?
No. If I was like above 8-0, I would have been like, I can't do the podcast tonight, guys.
Done.
All right, let's talk about squad vehicle spawning, because this is a big one.
You can squad vehicle spawn now, and in an effort to encourage squad cohesiveness and increase available spawn options, we are adding the ability to spawn in squad-owned transport vehicles, so Galaxy and Sunderers, you can now spawn on those if you're in a squad and the person owns it. The Sunderer AMS is no longer required to do this.
Okay, so point on this.
It's more than that.
Point on this. You can actually do gate diffuse with AMS now.
Yes.
So keep that in mind. Now that slot's open, you can gate diffuse.
Yeah, so if you have bought Sunderer AMS, it is always turned on, and it does not take a slot any longer.
Yay.
Oh, I did read that wrong. Yeah,
that's huge
This
news.
is huge.
When these patch notes dropped on Friday, that's all my outfit was talking about, was the Sunderer AMS.
When are we supposed to push this live? Thursday or something?
Matt said something like this week, I thought.
Yeah, we're supposed to push it. When this goes live, the meta of PlanetSide 2 is going to completely change.
Oh, it definitely is.
Completely change. If you have 4 galaxies, so if you have a platoon, you're going to have 4 galaxies, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta, and they're all going to be flying galaxy spawn points. And they're going to be circling around bases, dropping people left and right. And like, I would, if you have a tricked out galaxy, I would make sure that you trick it out a little more, because your galaxy is going to get used so much in your squad. Because if you have gunner positions, you can spawn, when you spawn into the galaxy, you spawn right into the gunner seat. So you can immediately start shooting. So it's like you're going to have this mobile AC-130 flying around dropping troops as long as somebody doesn't take it out.
Man, air is going to have a really important role on a base capture.
And every Sunday, like now some random noob who spawns a Sunday who doesn't know what he's doing can deploy a Sunderer now, because he just needs to have the AMS cert.
Mm-hmm. Do you? I haven't seen this anywhere, but if you spawn in a galaxy, is the galaxy pilot going to get XP for that?
He should. If he doesn't, then that sounds like a bug.
I haven't seen it anywhere, and I've been kind of wondering, and I've been looking for it, and I haven't seen anybody post that.
Yeah, I would imagine it would work like a squad beacon, spawn beacon. If it doesn't, then that sounds like a bug, or the designer didn't want you to have it. But let's just
that'll
say
be the one thing I complain about then on Amerish.
Yeah. Okay. But basically, it's going to be mayhem for like the first weekend that this patch is live, because nobody's going to know how to fight against this meta, and people are just going to get steamrolled left and right by the flying galaxies.
Oh, you mean I got to get in the air to defend it?
Yeah. Yeah, I would invest your certs into some galaxy weapons or some air weapons that take out galaxies.
Burster. If you don't have your burster arms.
Oh yeah, if you don't have your bursters.
Who's gonna fly their galaxy low enough to get hit by a burster?
Well, that's another thing. Like, you can fly
a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
your
right.
galaxy,
There's gonna be a ton.
You can fly your galaxy at flight ceiling, and everyone can land safely, because when they eject out of a galaxy, they don't fall to their death. So there's going to be a lot of reason for air to kill galaxies. So invest in your galaxy weapons. That's my advice. Do it now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta go, guys.
See ya.
I got 5,000 certs to spend. Hold on.
Jeez. All right.
I'm saving them for the Thresher. Come on, let's be honest.
Continuing, you're still saving them for the
Yes,
threat.
It's not coming out for months.
I
and
never
months.
go below
Years.
5,000 certs, so I'm saving them for when the Thresher
God.
comes out.
I love the people that are like, I have 10k certs, man. When's Orbital Strike coming out? I'm like, dude, just spend your certs,
Never.
man. Just spend your certs.
You'll be able to farm up another 10k before you get to that
Yeah.
point. Don't worry about it. Oh, man.
So miscellaneous, you log in, create a character, you'll begin in the deployment map instead of at the warp gate. Some known issues were fixed, I guess. Corpses are sometimes despawning early, and you may be snapped back into the vehicle you spawned in. We're working on the fix for that. Not we, they. It just says you may be snapped back into the vehicle you spawned in. Oh, from the squad deploy, I guess.
I'm not sure. I haven't experienced it, but they said these are known issues that are happening with this patch right now.
Some bug fixes. The HUD indicators for ally aircraft will once again be displayed in someone's marker, so I can't read that word. If they're in line of sight. They also fixed an issue that sometimes causes spawn points in contested areas not to not display on the deployment map, and removed capture and hold text from shield generator HUD icons, and fixed an issue that sometimes caused loadout tooltips to not display.
Okay.
It's a good patch. I'm even more excited if it really is coming out this Thursday, because
That doesn't include Amerish, does it?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're supposed to patch every week. So
I can't wait to see Galaxy AMS. It's going to screw up so much of this game.
oh dude, it's going to be chaos. But I think it's going to be good chaos. I think it's going to make the game more fun.
I cannot wait to see biolabs, like a biolab attack with this versus
With a galaxy just sitting over
with the
Oh, it could actually fix the the problem with lattice on the exterior bases.
You want a tip? Don't land your galaxy on the pad. Land it on the dome above the pad.
Yeah, just let
We don't even
pour out.
Just hover.
Yeah, just hover up there.
Just pour out. Yeah, I totally agree.
All right, should we move on to last week's community question?
Yeah, man.
All right, so last week we asked if you were John Smedley and you were making a top 3 list of items your dev team, which includes Mr. Adam Clegg, needed to be done ASAP, what would they be?
Give Adam Clegg a raise. promote Adam Clegg to lead designer, and give Adam Clegg a corner office with 2 weeks pay and time off.
These are
In that order.
That's awesome.
Oh, man. So
All
go
right.
over what you found out.
Well, overall responses, the number 1 requested item was the resource revamp. Number 2, intercontinental lattice and continent locking. Number 3, Hassan, battle islands, and other continents were the top 3 items. Digging down a little further, a lot of people wanted weapon revamps and more unique faction weapons. A good portion of people wanted better base designs, Mr. Adam Clegg.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
Hey, there were only 7 people.
There were only 7 people. 5 people wanted a new player tutorial and a better new player experience. Some people wanted the player mission system. Some people wanted fixing the performance update to bugs. And finally, a good portion of people wanted the Amerish lattice implemented. But again, top 3, resource revamp, intercontinental lattice, continent locking, and more continents.
Can I comment on continent locking right now?
Please.
Because I think it's a terrible idea until Hassan's in.
Oh, it definitely is.
Because it'll just be Indar side even more so, because it'll be so easy to capture Amerish and Esmir.
Yeah, you need intercontinental lattice before you have continent locking.
Yeah, it would truly be Indar side at that point.
And you need Hassan plus Battle Islands before you have intercontinental lattice.
We saw the map at SOE Live.
So
3
what is
battle
this?
islands for...
These were the... Sorry.
Nope, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, what are these the top 3 requests that we should do right now?
Correct.
All right, do you want to know mine?
Well, you gave them.
No, my real ones.
Money.
The ones that are actually going to happen. Number 1, new player experience, and to be more specific, to be more specific, the directive system.
Yes. Thank you.
Number 2 would probably be intercontinental lattice. I think that is the most important thing for our people who are actually going to play our game for the next 5 years. Because that's when PlanetSide 2, I think, really starts, is when we have intercontinental lattice. But you can't have a game unless you have new players.
Oh, thank you.
And number 3 would probably be... I would say I'm going to do a weird one. Are you ready for it? Most people would probably say resource system here, but I'm going to say implants.
What's that?
Because I think for a business, because PlanetSide 2 is a business at the end of the day, you need a system like implants in the game. You can't just have this treadmill of making new art, making new vehicle weapons, making new weapons, because that only lasts for so long. You need to have some type of a system that lets players purchase things like, think of Hearthstone and booster packs. You need something like
incremental income.
Yeah, you need something like that to keep the business going. Otherwise, you're just on a treadmill and you never go anywhere.
League of Legends does it with just art.
Yeah,
totally different system.
Completely different game.
They make new champions all the time, which is like,
how many champions do they have in the game now? Like hundreds. There's hundreds.
Just check Tom's account; he has them all.
No, we could do the same thing if we were like, okay, you can only use 3 weapons ever in the game, and then we made a bunch of new weapons, and then you had to cycle between which weapon you were going to choose. That's how they do it. They have 125 champions, but you can only use 1 at any given time.
Yeah.
There are great differences there. And implants, as long as they don't make implants pay to win, I think there's a mix there that's kind of like...
Well, that's the biggest fear. That's the biggest fear right now.
Okay, with the original implant ideas, and there was the one that made you immune to flashbangs and concussion grenades, was totally pay to win. And if that still exists, it will still be pay to win.
No, the new implant system won't be pay to win, but it is going to have to be some type of a income system. Otherwise, if you guys want PlanetSide 2 to be around for 20 years, you need that in the game.
Income. That's not something we've always argued that people should get subs for that exact reason as well. But then again, subs now aren't going to be directed to anybody's specific budget. They're going to be company wide, it sounds like. So I don't know. And they may not be the best way to support PS2 at this point.
Everybody in the chat room is saying that concussion and flash implant, from everything that's been pushed out, says it's still going to be one of the implants.
That's why I said that, because I remember when they talked about redoing them, that was one that was going to stay, and I thought that was stupid.
I don't want to go too much into implants because I don't really know a lot about it. I just seen the design doc, but it could have changed.
It needs to.
First and foremost, directives. That's number 1. If you're a console player, if you play PlayStation, if you've never played a PC game and you've played PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and now 4, you're still clueless when it comes to PC games and the type of shooters that are out there. And you're not going to play PlanetSide 2. You just won't. I mean, the game is so vastly massive and greater than anything you've ever played, and it's so much more difficult that you need something like Directive System to tell you what to do, where to go at all times until you finally get it, until you finally play the game and go, oh my god, this is an amazing game. And you should be able to see that in the first 30 minutes you play, because you can see the huge battles. But if you don't have like a goal for a new player, especially a console player,
it's overwhelming.
It's a way too overwhelming. So directives are huge, and not just consoles, PC players too. I mean, there's a lot of PC players that play PlanetSide 2, and they're like, oh my god, this is too overwhelming. I've never played a game like this. But console players even more, because they're not even used. At least PC players have played massive, MMOs before, and they get persistence.
Did PS3 even hit like 32 player servers or 64?
The max PS3 ever did was 32. MAG had 256, but it was 4 blocks of 32 on 32.
Okay.
So sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So even though you're playing with 256 players on a map, you never played with more than 32 other players.
Okay, yeah, that's a huge difference for them.
Yeah. So now a console player who doesn't understand persistence or has never played more than 8v8 for the most part is going to play in a game with 200 people, in one battle. They're going to need some help doing that.
What do you think? So Deringer, just to give you to recap, I don't know if you saw this or not, Clegg, but this week Deringer and I are going back and forth because we were bickering about what needs to take priority for the game.
Hey, I got involved too.
No, sorry, Tom, you got involved as well. Do we need the new player experience that needs to take precedence, or does it need to be new? I don't want to put words in your mouth, Deringer. What were you saying that we should take precedence versus new player experience?
Well, I want continents. This was just my personal opinion.
I'm not trying to.
I wanted more continents. I want more continents and more content to the game itself. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm more interested in the existing player base, not the new player base. Okay. And that's just my side of the coin. And I understand there's a perfectly valid argument on the other side. And I know you want to bash me over the head with that one.
I'm not gonna bash you over the head.
Well, you did it on Twitter.
I did. I was getting fired up. So in a debate format, tell me why established player content should take precedence.
I think that established player base should take precedence because those are the people that are currently playing your game and the people that are currently putting money into the game itself. Many of them have spent lots of money on the game, and I think those people will cut off completely if they're not satiated with new stuff in the game, and therefore badmouth your game towards new players, hurting getting new players into the game. That's my thought.
I have a question for Deringer. Is a new continent the only thing that you'll accept as new content, or will you accept any new content that caters towards a player that isn't a new player?
That's what I said. New continents and new content.
All right.
That's why when people said, and you guys have to admit, the community did not say new player. They said resources, intercontinental lattice, continent locking, and continents.
You're absolutely right, and I'm not going to be in the probably the trend of what they want versus what I want. But go ahead with what you're saying, Clegg, before I make my statement.
The greatest thing about the directive system is that when it comes out, yes, most of it will be for new players, but the directive system is built in such a way that it also is new content for people all the way up to Battle Rank 100.
I'm intrigued then. I'd like to see more.
Yes. So imagine if, like, theoretically, let's say this is how it works. I'm not saying this is how it works, but let's pretend this is how it works. Let's say you're Battle Rank 50, right?
55.
55. Okay, let's say you're Battle Rank 55.
I hit 55 last night.
And the directive system comes out day one, and your directive level is 1, because everyone's directive level is 1. And at directive level 1, it says complete 5 out of 7 tasks to get to directive level 2.
Like kill 10 wolves?
Yeah, let's say one of those tasks is pull a reaver or go to an equipment terminal.
Mhm.
Easy stuff that you already know as an experienced player. So you're going to bust through these directive levels pretty fast. But then let's say once you get to like directive level 10, and you have to be at least battle rank 58 to do it, then you're going to want to get battle rank 58 so badly because you're going to want to get to directive level 11, because at directive level 11 you unlock a new cosmetic that only people that at directive level 11 can get, or a weapon that has gold-plated nameplate on it, or stuff that you can't buy, and that will be content locked behind directives for high rank battle rank players.
I think that sounds fantastic.
So is not only is it a system that helps new players, like go to an equipment terminal, spawn a flash, stuff that they need to know, stuff they need to do as they play. It's also going to be stuff for high level players, because it's like a mini achievement. It's like an achievement system, but more than an achievement system.
Well, layers 3 different things that people have been asking for in the game period is depth, achievements, and then new player progression. You're layering all 3 of those things into one system.
Yeah, that's why I think the system's so important.
And
but the first iteration of it will be really basic, because it'll be for new players.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead. Go.
No,
you're selling my point for me. Just keep going.
Yeah, the first iteration will be for new players, but eventually it'll be a system that is so deep that even battle rank 100 players will want to do everything that's involved with the directive system.
All right. So my argument why new player content needs to take precedence over established player content is the game is entirely 100% player content driven. Therefore, we need new players to make the game continue to be successful. So I think being its first year out of the gate, it needs to prioritize player base as growing instead of just accepting the fact that it's at 20,000 or whatever, 25,000 or 28,000 or whatever the case may be. And when I've personally introduced a dozen players to the game and only 2 out of those dozen players had any fucking clue what they were doing in this game, and that's not even playing it. They come in, and I had to guide them hours upon hours. That tells me it's a very poor new player experience for a game. And watching people stream this their first time is painful.
Oh, it's so painful.
And watching any new player to this that hasn't been in this at least 30 hours, 40 hours is a painful experience. And I cringe. I hate cringing when I watch a game that I love being experienced by new players, and that should not be the case, especially if the game is going to be successful. I mean, Hearthstone is as simplistic as can be concept, but it has depth. I mean, you can hear them sell it on stage at BlizzCon, but you have to have a game that's accessible to the masses if you're ever going to expect a player base to grow.
And new players build everything else. Like the more new players we have, the more subs we have, the more revenue we have, the more people get hired to create content, and new players basically drive content.
More ideas that get made.
Yeah, it's definitely a process, but yeah.
This is why I'm not in game design.
My argument is...
I mean, I'm not gonna. I'll be honest with that. Again, just before you jump into your argument, though, Tom, my concern is you're going to alienate the existing player base. That's my only concern.
Hold on. I know, Tom, you're about to rip his balls off from saying that, because I know exactly what your point's going to be.
Well, I said it like 3 times.
I know we were talking about. So say it again, Deringer, and then let him counterpoint in a very
You heard me. Go ahead.
No,
fire away.
Okay. All right.
I mean, my argument, it's not going to change, because I have 4 friends specifically who I got to play the game, played with them, instructed them on what to do, having known what to do, and still the game was so confusing and overwhelming to them. And these are all very experienced MMO players that all raided in high-end guilds with me. They all know what an MMO is. They're not they all are very good gamers. They've played lots of games, and not a single one of them is going to ever touch the game again because they had no clue what to do.
So now imagine a console player who's only ever played Call of Duty.
There is new player experience. Like that alone, these are experienced gamers. Figuring out a game is nothing that's uncommon for them. I've played games personally with them for over 10 years, and they will not play the game again because it doesn't make sense. And that is the reason why new player experience has to be number one, because these are guys who know what to do and know how to figure things out.
Not to be insulting, Tom, you're kind of repeating what I was saying. Mark, you were saying something else though a second ago. You repeat what your statement a second ago was.
Well, I'm saying the same thing the entire chat room is saying, that, Big Angry Texan puts it best. I agree we need new players, but how much are we sacrificing towards the existing player base who have been here since day one?
So, Tom, what were you saying about players coming back to the game they've already played?
Oh, I haven't played for a month. I'm not going to lie. But when an email gets sent out or someone says, oh, dude, they just released this, I'm going to go check it back, check out the game. Most players who played the game and liked it and quit playing because of the lack of content maybe might come and check it out. A new player or someone who subbed and gets the email and goes, they're not gonna come back. But a player who's been dedicated, which is the players you're talking about, are in all likelihood going to come back and check it out.
And that's why we went back to weekly updates, Deringer. You're still feeling the pain of the OMFG patch, and I understand, but you're going to see weekly updates now, and that means that you get stuff like galaxy spawns and new ESF air weapons. Just in 2 weeks, we've had new ESF air weapons and galaxy squad spawning. Those are going to completely change the game, and then we're going to have a patch next week, and then we're going to have a patch next week, and it's just going to keep going. So we're not alienating the existing player base at all. It's just you're still feeling the pain of the OMFG.
Hey, I have a question for you, Clegg. You don't have to answer this yes or no. It's just a question kind of for my own interest anyways, but do you think a directive or do you believe a directive system will be in place before it's released on PS4?
I will say that I hope to God it is.
I would do anything I could to make sure that was the case before it's released on PS4.
Yeah.
Is there anything I could do? Anything?
I mean, it comes to a point where, if somebody who's at the highest level says, okay, this game needs to come out now already, then it has to come out. But, I mean, I hope to God that happens after directive system comes out.
I want to point out Forever Aflame's comment in the chat. He says, I don't understand how new players could have trouble with this game. I mean, I'd never played an FPS before this one. But they dropped me in on a huge battle, and I thought, this is easy. Bullets go towards the other man. That's, you guys throw that argument at me, and I think the exact same thing as Forever Aflame says.
Man,
what is so difficult about this game?
Forever Aflame. I want Forever Aflame to do something. I want you to go to YouTube, and I want you to type PlanetSide 2 first look, or first, what's the term? It's not Let's Play. It's first look, right? Like when somebody reviews the game, or it's the first time they've ever played the game. Yeah, go to YouTube, type in PlanetSide 2 first look, and don't search yesterday. Search the last 6 months. And then I want you to look at those videos and just cringe at how people play this game in a way that you would never expect someone to play a video game. Like people that don't even understand that it's a persistent map. They think the map's going to end. A fight, like they go to Crossroads and Crossroads gets captured and they watch the whole Zerg go to the next base.
First impression. Yeah, thanks, Lurker.
First impression. Okay, yeah. Go to YouTube, type in PlanetSide 2 first impression and watch those videos. You'll see somebody who like they'll capture TI alloys and everyone else will be running to the crown and they'll just be running around TI alloys because they don't understand the fight moves and they have to move with the fight. They think, oh, I captured TI alloys. Okay, the map's going to change now and I'm going to go somewhere else. And they'll just sit there and they'll run around TI alloys and be like, where'd everybody go? Like,
I know a lot of you players think that these people are worthless. I'm going to be blunt. You think these players that are coming into this that don't know what their clue to start with are worthless, but you need to start somewhere. You have to have players that are willing to learn and start from somewhere. You can't just say only elite players are willing to play this game. You want to kill a game, that's the fastest way you can do it. have at that. Good luck.
Excluding players is the best way to kill a game.
I mean, you can't. I preach to you guys, please understand there are new players to this game and don't be dickheads to them. Like, I've seen people do this. Like, you don't need months of experience in the game to be worthwhile in this game. Please, just be understanding with new players. Don't. If you want this game to go anywhere, please, for the love of God, don't be douchebags.
Well, and then that's the other thing. Like, my friends, like, to defend my friend, since he said he's never played an FPS before, like, and I've said my friends are avid and good gamers, like, they don't look at it like, oh, I'm just shooting people. They look at a game going, all right, what's the bigger picture? What am I trying to do here? And there's no answers to that to the new player when they join into the game. These are experienced gamers. They join a game like WoW, and they kind of, as they go through it, and then they understand there's an end game that they're working towards, and this doesn't have that. There's nothing. And they ask players, what's the point of this game? You kill people. And they're like, well, that doesn't make sense.
And I understand from some of your guys' perspectives it's not complicated, but your guys' perspectives are not everyone else's. So, like everything else, you have to understand that a lot of people don't view things the same way you do.
Just realize that most PlanetSide 2 players that get it, who play the game, are very skilled, high-level, elite players. And those are the people that are playing PlanetSide 2. They play PlanetSide 2 because they understand that games like Battlefield or Call of Duty don't do it for them. They understand the flaws of a game that is an arena shooter. And they realize that an MMO FPS is the next level. And those are the people that want the next level. They're always looking for the next best thing. And the players that leave don't see that. They still see, oh, this is like Battlefield, but worse because I don't know what I'm doing and I'm getting killed all the time. So that's the main difference.
Yeah. So, Deringer, I understand that you're concerned about content. I would love to see new contents too. I would love to be able to play this game 10 years from now and say the game still existed. And I feel like if you build content that doesn't, at least if you don't put the initial systems into place that most games have in place to at least teach these people without outfits being involved, then it will never go anywhere. I feel like it'll just die.
And the new content's coming. We're gonna patch. We patched last week. We're gonna patch this week.
I want my friends
next
to
week.
play with me.
When Amerish comes out, you'll have a new continent. Even though it's not a brand new continent, you'll have a new continent experience. And Hassan will not take as long as Amerish did, because Hassan's already like almost done.
So Forever Flame said I did a lot of research about this game before it came out, though. Dude, you're amazing. I'm not saying that in a sarcastic way. That's awesome.
Yes, you are.
You're amazing that you did research, that you're a good person to do due diligence in a game before you start it. You're a great gamer. That's what a lot of new gamers do, to be smart about things. When they start them, they research them. 95% of the rest of the population is not like you.
Yep.
I'll tell you as it is. That's just the way it is.
And most of the population aren't PC players. Most of the populations are console players. So think about how many people don't even take the research, but then think about how many people aren't PC players. And then think about those people going into like a GameStop and just buying whatever they see on the shelves. And that's the game they play. They don't read Kotaku, they don't go to Joystick, they don't go to PC Gamer. They literally watch TV, play console games, go to GameStop and buy whatever on the shelves.
Or play with their friends play.
And that's most gamers in America. And those are the people that you're going to expect to play PlanetSide 2 right now?
You forgot the trolling Reddit part.
Yeah, but console players have no idea what Reddit is.
I mean, yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true.
I don't think that's true. Have you been to our gaming? It's nothing but console gamers.
No, it's nothing but PC players that buy console games on Steam.
All right. Well, let's go to the community question for this week, Mark. I mean, I think we've killed this. I appreciate everybody wants this game to be, and I know a lot of you guys in this chat room, anybody in the chat room is listening to this show has played this game enough. Like, you guys know this game well enough to know there's a podcast for it. Like, there's some new listeners that we get that email us, and I love seeing those, by the way, that about what the game is about, and we've tried to coach them along the way at certain times here and there, but I want this game, spending this much time into this game, like, if this game's not successful, I basically burned a year of my life, 2 years of my life.
A year or 2 years of your life. You had a lot of fun while doing this.
I did have fun doing this, granted, but at the same time, we were working towards the objective of a game we love, and I want to see this game successful. And I feel like it's worth spending the time to say new players are a great asset to the game. So,
do you know what's interesting? Is that this could all be for naught. Like it couldn't even matter, is what I'm trying to say. Is because if this game comes out on PS4, there's literally no competition, and everyone who has a PS4 is going to download it because it's free, and they might just beat their head against the wall until they get it, because there's really nothing else to play. Like there's no other
Warframe.
Well, I mean, like as far as an MMO.
Sure. You're right. Yeah, I'm saying it's a Warframe is, but yeah, as far as an MMO, you're right. There's not anything out there.
Yeah, so I mean, you never know. It could all not matter in the end, anyways. I hope if PlanetSide 2 on PlayStation 4 is a massive success, that makes the PC game that much better, because that means you guys are getting so much more new content. It's not even funny.
Well, it's a new venue for console players to cross over to PC gamers. Like, in the end, most people that are serious about gaming, I'm not trying to be a dick, but most people that are serious about gaming, period, move over to PC gaming. Like, eventually. That's what happens. That's where most new games come out. There's a lot more broad selection of games. That's just where a lot of stuff's at. And if you cut off a venue or cut off an avenue of that happening, then you're cutting off basically the master race from growing. So
I don't even know what to say to that.
I'm just joking, but you hear people talk about PC Master Race, but you gotta let people at least grow. Consoles usually is a good starting point for a lot of people. Let them grow into a game, and don't give them all the opportunities possible to grow into a game. Directive System's a good opportunity for that.
Yep, and a system that we're not even mentioning, the mission system. That's also going to help new players, because it's going to give them a goal of like, go here, retard. This is where you fight. Why are you still standing here? Go over here. Like that's what the mission system is going to help new players with. It all basically comes down to goals. PlanetSide 2 lets people do whatever they want, but new players need goals. New players need to be told what to do. Experienced veterans don't want to be told what to do, where new players have to be told what to do.
I think the directives sound pretty sweet.
Let's knock out this week's question, Mark.
All right, I pulled this week's question right off of Twitter. Well, something that Higby asked earlier today, and I apologize if it's TR slanted, but we haven't done a TR slant in a while.
We could genericize it.
But this is his specific question.
I don't care.
This is his specific question, though.
I don't care. We can still make it generic.
All right, it's all yours then. Roll with it.
Genericize it. Go.
Genericize it. Go.
Do you have any ideas? I'm going to read it, the Higby one. Do you have any ideas for a TR specific infiltrator rifle that gives them a satisfying and meaningful niche? Why can't it be
because he didn't ask that
specific infiltrator rifle for all three empires? Like,
because it sounds like he already has things for the other two and doesn't have something for TR.
Well, maybe he does, but he didn't say that.
We have something for the other two empires.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, well then fine. TR only. Sorry.
And I prefer to call it a niche.
You're being cut out of this discussion.
I prefer to call it a niche, not a niche.
You're gonna see 2/3 of people who like give really shitty ideas.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
What? Because they're gonna want to fight against the good. Why would Ivanu be like, yeah, that would be really good. You should give it to them.
Because if the Vanu player is a true player of the game, longtime player of the game, they would like to see the TR get something competent so that they're playing against another skilled player. Don't you always feel better?
Player of the game should
don't you always feel better when you beat a skilled player? Don't you always feel better when you beat a skilled player than a brand new newbie player? Yes.
Depends.
Or when you beat a skilled player with a good weapon rather than a skilled player with a piece of junk?
Did you say depends if I'm drunk or not?
Depends if I'm drunk or not. Like, if I slaughter a group of like newbies, I'm like, it feels great.
I honestly I notice maybe 1% of the time of who I kill. I
notice every single one of them
because it sits that screen there real big, and it's like, Twiff has killed you for the 3,000th time.
Well, you should stop fighting Future Crew and start fighting the TR.
Yeah,
and then maybe Odin's Pride can kill you a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I run the stat tracker a lot, so it's usually easy to look over and say X outfit basically just farmed me, and then I just farmed X outfit. So you can kind of see what's going on most of the time.
Well, for me, it's just that double zeros on my screen.
Oh yeah, dude, they are good though. I'm never going to deny them that they're amazing.
I love fighting them because like I said, I enjoy a good battle against a skilled opponent, and I'd feel better if they have a decent weapon when they're fighting against me.
Yeah. So
it's so contradictory to you.
What do you mean it's contradictory to me?
No, because you're the one who's sitting there going, "Oh yeah, I farm people in the spawn room with my lasher explosions."
I did because
so
it was an exploit to get my 2.0 KDR.
So awesome to farm people with your OP weapon, and then you're like, "I want a challenge." That's so contradictory.
When I'm out in the open field, I expect a challenge. Well, with a broken weapon like
only
that,
in a certain situation, I expect.
I'm calling BS on this statement, and
there was a broken weapon in a specific instance.
Like
This is normal, unfortunately. So Community Clash, we're delayed till March 5th. We're doing some stuff back from legal with SOE. We're trying to get everything back where it should be. We're getting alerts set up for the season and a number of other things. Sorry guys, by the time you hear this tomorrow, I'll also actually have official posts up as well about Community Clash being delayed till March 5th. We'll have a preseason before March 5th, so I'm going to get a whole bunch of teams together, and we're going to get 4 preseason matches played for the EU and US pre-March 5th, launch for Season 1. That's what's going on with the Community Clash. I'm not going to play the bumper. It's not worth it. The good, the bad, and the OP is next.
Have another drink on me, soldier.
Okay, thank you kindly.
If you can look hard enough past all the death and all the sorrow, there are good things. You must remember that we will overcome. The good, the bad, and the overpowered.
Who made all of these things?
So my buddy Steve did, and actually he's working on a Thunderdome one we were supposed to have tonight between Deringer and I. The ReachCast Thunderdome bumper, and it's like the background's like 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Like it's supposed to be in the whole background, but he's working on that. So we'll see it next week. Hopefully I can find something to bitch at Deringer about.
Now that I know I'm not going to have anything.
I could bitch about something right now.
You could bitch about anything every week. That's not like special. We're supposed to have a special.
I think they should have a challenge. I'm Deringer. I like using the Zoe and going 102.
All right. By the way, you're first.
I know I'm first. All right. My goodness.
Don't get angry at me. Shit. Just because
you don't need to tell me I'm first. All right. My good is I finally got to go back to the gym this week, and that is pretty exciting. After my surgery, I couldn't go. My bad is that I can't play the Ascent live yet because that shit's fucking sweet.
Anything else? Is it good?
No. That's it.
Okay.
The third one was too OP.
All right, Deringer?
My good is I started using the Nemesis a lot more on Vanu, and I really don't think people realize that the air-to-air lock-on rocket can dumbfire, because I don't think a lot of people use it. So I've been using it a lot lately, and it's just I'm smoking people with it. Almost as many people as I kill with my Zoe every day, Noxx. My bad is related to the gym. I lifted way too much at the gym this past week, and my arms are like jelly.
That's a
Bro.
good thing. How's
Bro,
that
do you-
a bad?
Because they
Just to say,
friggin'
bro.
hurt.
Oh my god, that'd be like the best week ever.
But I didn't. I had too much weight on the machine and didn't realize it.
Wait, you use a machine?
Yeah, I'm
Get the
a
out
loser.
here.
Do you even lift, bro?
So my gift for the week is I hoisted a lot.
Dost thou even hoist?
I
Your
hoisted.
good and bad aren't even related to the gym. Get out of here.
I don't.
He
I
doesn't
don't
even have a
I don't
bad written
relate
down.
gym every week. Like, well, I'm not T-Ray. Like, I'm talking about how much I lift every week.
I go to the gym every-
Twitter.
What do you mean every week? I go every day.
Dude, he's like, never mind. All right, my good for the week. Amerish looks amazing. I can't wait to play on it when it comes out. Hopefully, Indar blows up, server shuts down, whatever the case may be. The host Indar. My bad for the week is, dude, I don't know.
It's got nothing.
I got nothing. Listen to Deringer on Twitter is my bad for the week.
I kept you entertained that day. You realize I was home stuck under a foot of snow that day, so I could actually reply to you.
It's funny. I was bickering I'm working with a consultant on a project right now, and he's looking at me and I'm tweeting something. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm bitching at a friend. Hold on." And
Wait a second. We're not friends, dude.
All right,
Oh,
well, that being said, I'm glad that I'm smarter than you are in all respects. My Katie's better than yours.
What do you
so
mean
let's,
smarter than me in all respects?
We're gonna go on to the mailbag. All
Just
right.
because Clegg agreed with you and the community agreed with
Perfect
me.
morning. Great timing. The mailman's just coming.
For tomorrow, big bag.
Very strange. What's the sticking sound? Going to take a look here in this bag of mail. Oh no!
Now you just open the ReachCast mailbag.
You just pulled like the I'm yelling
are my-
louder than you.
Totally did.
Those things are my favorite part of this episode. Of this podcast.
All right. First call we have is from our buddy. It's Murda.
Hey guys, it's Murda here. I'm only actually calling in because Torkz is holding a gun to my head as we speak. So I guess I have to answer your question on the three things that I would push to live now if I was John Smedley. And I guess I'm gonna only use things that are on the roadmap. I'm not sure if that's part of the context of this question, but without being a complete visionary and rebuilding the game entirely, I'm gonna use things that are up there already. In no particular order, I'm going to say directives because I'm a bit of an achievement whore, but I also think that they provide some really good direction to new players and some brand new things for veteran players to do alike. That's my number one, even though I said it wasn't going to be in any particular order. Number two, I guess, is the resource revamp. Partly for me because I'm addicted to medkits, and it's really kind of in a frustrating place at the moment where sometimes you're just flooded with resources. It's almost as if they don't even matter or exist. And other times you're completely starved no matter what you do. So I think that's been one of the things that I've been looking forward to for a while. And number three. I guess number three is kind of a broad anything to improve the new player experience, whether it's maybe the mission system or just continuing to add on to the tutorial. I know it's kind of two different things, but you guys will have to deal with it. Anyway, new player experience is huge, I think, for continuing to grow the game and just bringing new people in and capturing people in those first few hours of playing. They've done a lot of bringing new people in lately. They've got PlayStation 4 on the way. They've got some really big names who have a huge following from other games who've been streaming PlanetSide lately. I don't know. I think we just need to capture that audience. Even when I was out at MLG Columbus, I noticed that, it was really, really confusing for people who just sat down and played the game for the first time. And any efforts, I guess, to keep them on board, keep them playing would, would be good. I don't know where I'm going with this. There's no script. Like I said, gun to my head at the moment. So hopefully that suffices and I can move on to see another day. Anyway, I'm talking for far too long. So have a good one, guys.
I kept whispering in his ear. I had the barrel imprinted in his temple, and I kept telling him, like, you better keep going, or I'm going to blow your brains out.
That call is titled "It's Murder Smacks Deringer in the Face."
So can I respond?
Yeah, man. So it's all about. By the way, we didn't even get your good and bad, so we'll do that before the end of the show.
So first of all, Murda sounds like a really smart guy. That's I mean, I know him. You know, I've hung out with him, but he just seems really intelligent from that phone call. He seems to have a finger on the pulse of PlanetSide too. Definitely knows what he's talking about.
How does Deringer sound to you?
It's it's your guys' show. I'm not going to say anything.
Hey, I wouldn't stop you from holding back.
The next thing I want to say is his comment at MLG couldn't have rang more true. And I want you guys to think about this. Where were we? We were at MLG. These were players that were professional first-person shooter players. Like, you can't get higher skilled FPS target market than players at MLG, and they were confused with how the game worked. So that kind of drives home the point a little bit more of even if people perceive themselves to be or actually are amazing at first-person shooters, something else needs to trigger their brain to be like, oh, I get it. This is how this game works.
Tank ran me over. I get it.
So, anyways.
Yeah.
My rebuttal.
Your rebuttal doesn't matter.
No.
You can say my rebuttal doesn't matter. I just want to keep bringing up the fact that the community is on my side.
The community.
I produce facts for you of total numbers answering our question. I understand everything that you guys have all argued, and Clegg, I appreciate everything that you went over because you've actually made me excited for the directive system. So let's just get that out of the way. I'm excited for that. But
yeah, the community of course doesn't want new player stuff. They've already know how to play the game. They already know how to play the game.
That's the thing we were arguing.
Your community sample isn't even like a percent of the population of the game, which isn't massive.
Let's say his sample's fine, which is fine because it is. The point being is that it's from an established player base versus new players aren't speaking to this.
No, they're not. But we didn't ask new players the question.
We can't ask new players any question because we don't know where to put that.
New players don't listen to our podcast.
That's the point. Like, it's how we supposed to put this question out there for new players to listen.
This is a statistically inaccurate poll that you're using as a reason for a bad decision.
Say what you want.
It's like you're a race car driver, right? And you have this nice race car and you want a new turbo for the race car, but the race car manufacturer is doing nothing but teaching people how to drive the car. You know, that of course the person who owns the race car is going to be like, I already know how to drive this car. Why are you spending so much time teaching people how to drive the car? Just give me the turbo. So that's kind of the situation you're in. And like, you're not wrong. It's just we have to try to balance, make a good balance of doing both. And so you'll see us giving more content in the future.
I mean, you're always going to have a bigger player base that's not pro, like super pro. There's always going to be a lot of players learning how to play the game. If you're ever playing a game that's really developing, you're going to have a lot more players that are considered whatever you want to call them, casual or non-pro game players.
Players, it's just like pro sports. It makes up the vast minority of a game.
Yeah, I mean, it's granted. There's a lot of drive and a lot of not professional, but a lot of people that are serious about PlanetSide will direct the game. You've heard a lot of panels. You've heard a lot of people talking about, I have very, very good feedback on this, or this because I played it to the nth degree, and at that point their experience is invaluable. Great, but your 2% of the game or your 5% of the game population is not going to support the game and its development crew while they're developing the content for the game. So as that 5% of the game, understand that you are not going to be a financial backer for that game in comparison to the other 95% of the population. It is what it is. The next one we have is from Link's Thor. And yes, we'll talk about the content or the resource revamp, Big Angry Texan. But we're also going to get Malorn on, which is one of the people that really is pivotal in the resource revamp on in the next couple weeks, hopefully. and you will get your stuff talked about as well as every other person that's brought up it's brought up a resource revamp question, because there's a lot of people that want to talk about it, and it's very pivotal for the game's changes, but we want to get somebody that's behind that effort to talk about it so that you guys can understand where it's really going versus what maybe some of the different angles you guys are approaching it from. So the next call is from Lynx Thor, by the way, sorry.
Hey, ReachCast, this is Lynx Thor, co-leader of the 40 Deuce on Connery. I'm calling in to answer your question of the week here. What 3 things I think they should be working on right now? I think they should be working on continental conquest, which means they need more continents and all that lattice stuff hooked up properly, the way it used to be in PlanetSide 1. I think they should be working on the outfit recruitment stuff along with the progression system. I think that'd be awesome. Being able to pour points into some kind of cert line to make our outfits better. And then the last thing is the Bastion, the flying ship that you guys call a starship or something. But the playing Battlefield 2142 in Titan mode, that's what it's kind of modeled after, is really awesome. So I would hope that they pretty much rip that off and make the Bastion. All right. Keep up the good work, guys. We'll see you on the battlefield.
You know, the one thing he said about the outfit stuff, no one else mentioned that. And I was very surprised.
That's a good point. Yeah. And no one else to bring that up. And that,
no one said it, so it's not important.
That's not true.
According to your logic, it is.
Oh, come on. Why do you keep stabbing him? Like, you're just stabbing him over and over again. It's like he's dead 27 stabs in, and you just keep going.
He's making it too easy.
So, somebody else did mention in Twitter that I do agree with this, that I think outfit recruitment will be pivotal, or will be very important for the PS4 release. If you go into PS4 and you get past the directive system, which is a good start, which is what we already talked about, you would need an outfit to kind of guide you through, and not even guide you through, but that's like a main point of the game. You need someone to play with.
That's like endgame.
Yeah. So outfit recruitment has always kind of been one of the central points, the focus points of a lot of the community for people to get into, and there's no in-game outfit recruitment at the moment.
Not yet.
And console, not yet. And console players aren't going to have forums. Well, they will, but they're not really going to, like 99% of players are not going to go read them. So in-game outfit recruitment is important. Yep. And it's not in yet. So we'll see how that goes.
We definitely recognize it as something that's important. So,
you know, the beauty part is it's funny because we're talking to you, Clegg, and everything you're saying, like, yeah, we never thought about this. It's all in the office. You don't talk about this. It's good to know that you guys aren't completely so out of touch that you're like, all the things we're talking about have already been discussed. You guys know what we're saying.
Yeah.
And it's not just weird to you for us to be talking about this.
We want this game to succeed as much as you guys do.
Yeah. All right. Next call, Magnum.
Hey guys, it's Magnum. I've been following you guys on Twitter talking about whether it's more important to generate further content like new continents or new beginner player content. And I got to agree here with Torkz and Noxx in that getting new player content out there just to make the game a little more accessible to people who are picking it up is more important than keeping up with the later content stuff. As an outfit leader, I've experienced a fair amount of burnout among my players who are saying they want to see new stuff, like the new Amerish or Hotfix or whatever. But trying to train new people on this game is freaking impossible. The tutorial does great work, but just the other day I was trying to teach a friend of mine how to play, and even standing over her freaking shoulder, she couldn't figure out how to use the redeploy system. So finding a way to sort of make it a lot more accessible for new players is a better growth strategy than trying to hang on to these sort of older long-term players. Because the long and short of it is, if these guys have been playing for 40, 50 days, like a lot of our long-term guys, they're not going anywhere. They're going to keep going. They're going to keep finding ways to keep playing the game, going for medals, going for achievements, whatever it might be. But trying to grow the new player base is more important. Anyway, thanks for hearing the call, and I love listening to your show.
All right. I think at this point we're beating a dead horse to
Yeah, let's just go to the next call.
Well, the only point I want to make on that is he says that longtime players aren't going anywhere, but I don't think that that's 100% true. Because, Tom, you haven't played in a month. I took a full month off.
Yeah, but, okay, I haven't played in a month because my friends won't play the game with me.
I think
I play
Tom's
games
point,
with my friends.
Is that true, or are you bored with the game on some level?
No, it's every time I play, I have a blast. I
quit
ask
the
Adam
game
last time we played.
I was
had
bored.
A blast.
I quit it because I was bored.
All right, Clegg,
I think Tom has a valid point, and this isn't. I just want to say this is not how we think, because this sounds really messed up. But I think it's a valid point to say. If you stopped playing today and you didn't play again, I guarantee you the day we patch Amerish, you will log in and play.
Oh, I know I will.
So that's where a ton of people who quit the game come back, but new players who played for 1 hour don't even know what the hell Amerish patch is. Like they don't understand.
They don't even know it's a continent. They probably don't even know how to switch continents.
So none of those players that we lose because they only play the game for an hour are going to come back no matter how much new content we create.
But shouldn't they get the same email that I get?
But they don't know the game, so it's not enticing to them. Amerish has been patched. It means nothing to them.
It's just spam to them. So you got to get the player invested enough to be a long-term player. And once that happens, then you can create a bunch of new content for those players. But this is a temporary issue. This isn't something that's you always need to find a way to get new players. No, this is just something we need to figure out now. And once we figure that out, then all it is new content.
You got to put barbs on that hook if you're going to stick it in the fish's mouth.
Did you say stick it in the cat?
I was thinking catfish, but I was like, that doesn't sound right. So like fish's mouth, you got to put the barbs on that hook. You can't let them get out. I mean, I think we've already drilled. Like literally, we've turned this horse into like glue, and then we've taken that glue and we've
turned this hour-long show into a 2-hour-long show talking about this one topic.
This is true.
I'm sorry. Okay, next call.
Still have to read email.
Next call.
What's up, ReachCast? Wolf07 from the Freelancers Union here. So I finally sat down and made a call for you guys. So, woohoo! Anyways, last week you guys asked what would be the 3 things we would put on the roadmap as priority. And I would put Hossen as primary priority along with the Bell Islands. Once that's complete, I would link them up with the Continental Lattice and then finally make the resource revamp. But then again, I think SU is gonna do this in this order anyways, so I don't think I need to really worry all that much, I hope. Oh yeah, and this week on FNO, I think Maggie said it, and I'm not sure if I heard it correctly, but they might start either working on Hossen this March, or even start putting it on the player test server this March. Either way, I'm pretty excited for Hossen, and I hope it comes soon, and not get delayed by another year. Man, that was kind of a downer when it happened. Anyways, if you guys were wondering what's going on with my channel, I'm still making videos, already made 2 videos, and I just want to ask if I can make a call next week, giving all the information to my channel and everything, because, I don't want to be that asshole who just makes a call, giving everybody the information to his channel, and nobody said he can, so yay. Anyways, this was Wolf07 from the Freelancers Union, Terran Republic on Miller, saying join the Terran Republic, cause bacon, 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 and motherfucking bacon.
All right,
I'm going to take a moment to...
I like everything about that guy's call.
I'm just going to chime in on his call right now and say, Wolf07, according to everybody else in the show, just like me, you are wrong. Let's move on to emails.
Yeah. My computer crashed, and I was posting the call and stream.
Bacon?
So that's what happened.
Bacon check 1, 2.
Yeah, Bacon crashed the servers.
Or Bacon check?
Bacon in the blind.
We should be back, though. We're live now.
We're live now.
Sausage?
So, as I was about to say before we were rudely interrupted, I'm going to respond to Volfo7's call to let you know that according to the other three people on the show, you and I are both wrong. Let's move on to emails.
You're the first email.
Can we get some people to call in to make Mark feel better about getting smashed by the three of us?
But I don't need to. I don't need to feel better. And
I like how on his call he even said, "Well, I don't think I need to worry about these things because SOE is already going to do them."
That's why I said you're wrong. Welcome to the club. See, but I'm comfortable in my wrongness because everyone else in the community is apparently wrong too.
Oh, and some ReachCast.
All like 100 people.
You guys want a ReachCast exclusive?
Yes,
sure.
I'll probably be working on Hassan in February.
Ooh.
Nice.
February is only 4 days away. Does that mean the beginning of February or the end of February?
Well, I'm still working on Amerish, but in February I will most definitely be working on Hassan.
It's only a 28-day month, so
yeah.
I better tweet this out quickly before Hama does. Oh crap! He already got it out there.
Oh, it's already out.
Clegg to be working on Hassan in February.
All right,
exclusive.
Our first
PS2
email
exclusive
is from McCain, and he's
McCain
just
smash.
listing his three choices. So his first request was, or first thing that he would like is a server merge between Matherson and Watterson. Second, he'd like to increase the effectiveness of infantry-based AA and AV, decimators, AA, lock-ons, etc., against armor and air. And third, he'd like the tuning resists of vehicles to sensible values, liberators dying in 2 decimator shots, etc., galaxies 2, 3, or 4 decimator shots, etc. Galaxies should not be able to park and stay on a rooftop, shelling a base for long. Right now, you have little gals operating better than pre-nerf harassers, more HP and about as mobile. Hey, guess what, McCain? It's going to get even worse.
Yeah. I sense a vision. I can see the future. It's a galaxy nerf in 2 weeks.
I disagree with him completely on number 3, but anyways.
What, the tuning resist?
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, I feel like tanks need to be stronger.
I have a strong feeling like this guy got farmed by like a couple galaxies and got pissed and wrote this email.
Perhaps. Well, the battle galaxies are a big thing right now. And
Dude, they are.
Well,
totally
imagine
are.
battle galaxies with a mobile spawn
People
point.
falling from it. Shells.
I love it. I love it. I think it's going to be really good for the game.
I think it will too.
I think mobile galaxies are something.
Really gives air like a clear objective to go for, which is something that I felt was missing.
Yeah, shoot your rockets at the galaxy. Stop farming infantry.
Yeah, I mean, gals seem like they're just throwaway right now. That you grab me, you throw them away after you drop.
That's whenever I play, we just fly a galaxy over a base and bail. Everyone bails.
Oh yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't just like grab and bail like every time. That shouldn't be the way it is.
Once we saw the patch notes on Friday, we've been practicing all weekend with saving our galaxies for the entire time.
Yeah, good call.
So
yeah, you should.
They're smart.
CDBSO.
Oh, did you guys just call me smart? Hold on. Make sure you pull that out.
I never argued that you were smart.
I said DPSO is very smart, not you.
Oh. Well, I'm in DPSO, so by default.
How high are you on the chain of command that made the decision? Nowhere.
I was there.
Now let me
just
clarify this. Only the squad can spawn from the galaxy, not the whole empire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
In beta, it was the whole empire, and that was ridiculous.
But you still had to land them. But yeah,
so
it was ridiculous.
At least you need like an organized squad now. It can't just be a random who puts his galaxy somewhere and the whole empire spawns there.
I think Mark is extremely smart. I'm never going to argue that. I just think he has no friends.
It's just because I use big words.
Content.
It's because I use big words.
Mark is just passionate about new content.
I am. You're absolutely right. I am. That's pretty much
passionate about himself.
I think he is. I think he's absolutely right.
I do love myself.
Because I want
he might be a little selfish because all he wants is new content. Doesn't care about the other people. But hey, that's fine.
I care about the other people who want new content. Okay, read Louis' email. I gotta go to bed. It's freaking 1 a.m.
I'm not even gonna read it because he's basically said what we've talked about the last 2 hours. But he is pretty reasonable, and he thinks there should be content, but he understands new player experience in order for the game to succeed. So that's pretty much it. It's a long email for what we've talked about already.
He's gonna listen to the show. He's gonna listen to the show and be like, "Oh, they're gonna read my email next," and then he's gonna be like, so sad.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, they just totally destroyed my email.
I'm never gonna email this.
He's in the live chat right now,
and he's basically saying like, I feel what Clegg is saying. Like, don't read it. It will hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings already. Is basically what I'm hearing.
He says, "Don't read it. You won't hurt my feelings."
He says, seriously, don't. Clegg make me feel bad enough as it is. So contact.
He wants you to read his Amerish comment, though.
Amerish comment. Okay, let me go back to my emails. Hold on.
Oh, you have a new one?
There's 2 emails from him.
Oh.
Yeah, there's nothing about Amerish in here.
Just want to add my last email since I just checked out the new Amerish base from last night. From what I've seen, this is a revamp like no other and might as well be considered a new continent. Some of these bases are jaw-dropping and game-changing. They're definitely satisfying my request with large-scale infantry-only bases, and they went ahead and buried some of these f***ers. I can only thank the base designers. I can't thank the base designers enough for their efforts they are putting into these amazing bases. It's amazing.
Well, thank you very much, good sir. I appreciate it, and we are putting in the effort, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. So there you go. I just read your email on the fly off of my Gmail box. Congrats. All right, so that is it for today's show. You can call us. As you heard these amazing, thoughtful, intelligent people call in about how great the new player experience needs to be at 415-787-3224. And you can get us at email at reachcastshow@gmail.com. Our Twitch, the show a lot of these people are watching on, is twitch.tv/reachcast. Or twitch.com/reachcast. Apparently what I'm being told, but I think it's
twitch.tv/reachcast. Mark is an idiot. I take back his smart comment.
I want to give a quick thank you to the people watching the show: Lady Shade, Arctorn, Big Angry Texan, B Postal CD 5696, Chinua. It's like a dog, I guess. The Coliseptic. Dr. Joski, Gita, and Precision Minty Fresh. I like that. PSU Hammo, who just tweeted out Arctorn's breaking news. Quality player. Slow burn.
You mean Cleggs?
Yeah. Louis, Time Elude, and Watchstar. Thank you guys for tuning into the live show.
At least you can say I'm in not smart company, right, Tom, after those readings?
Yeah, pretty much.
God, no kidding.
See, we're a match made in heaven.
Can we go on
did you get like Larrington and Lynx Thor?
Why is it not listing? There's a whole bunch of people it's not listing. It's updating on the fly.
And Slow Burn.
So it's
because that list is
Evil
shitty.
Ducky,
It doesn't update.
Forever Flame. There's a whole bunch of people it's updating on the fly.
Imprecision.
Lynx Thor, Metal. I'm only reading off the freaking Twitch list. I'm sorry.
Matt
this freaking thing is updating on the fly.
Quality player.
It's an awful list. It's not even
Torkz.
accurate.
What's up, man?
Can we do 3 more hours for Deringer since he wants to?
Arctic Vector, Slow Burn. Basically, Deringer kiss my ass. Right? I'm trying to read this on the fly. I'm sorry. Anyways, our Twitch, ReachCast Torkz for me. Our
Twitter.
Shin was taken. What's yours, Noxy?
Timo's awesome.
Okay, Deringer.
I am at the Deringer, or as we found out last week, the Deringer.
The guy with the wrong opinion, and the show's Twitch is at ReachCast Show.
Yeah, my Twitter is now at I am wrong.
I am wrong. There you go. So
I think that's taken.
What's yours, Clegg?
Mine's at RClegger.
Okay. And the PlanetSide one is at PlanetSide 2. Guess what? So thank you everybody for the show. Thank you, Steve, Cliff, John, Jenny, Boo, and Hamma. Steve, you do some amazing some bumpers. I can't wait for ReachCast Thunderdome because obviously we're going to need it next week. Cliff, thank you for the site. John, you do some amazing poster work. Jenny, Boo, and Hamma, you know what you do. That's it for the show. Take care, everybody. See you next week.
That's right, Sergeant. You made the call. All right, soldiers. You've done a great job here today. Let's get our stuff and get the hell out of here.